essentially that's what a luck skill is. It's like one attribute to represent 1/10 of the percent of 10 other attributes that are 10% of. So the idea is to do this orient rotation movement first and then continue with the interpolation and then do this. I'll have to add a server function for that just because I've had orient rotation and use controller rotation bound to the same custom event because it's always flipping them together. This might be one time where I don't do that because doing that immediately will snap the character, which is what I'm trying to avoid right now. So let's check this out. Ooh. That worked. I think that worked. But the problem is it pigeonholes races. I prefer dynamic choices. Like not all elves are mages, right? I was thinking of maybe them different starting attributes, but they can easily be reversed after a few levels, and if levels have no exponential curve and all the attributes zero out, so like you can have 75 50 and 25 or 50 50 50 or you get the idea, but they always equal. So when you level up, you subtract from one attribute. I think you're missing what I'm saying here. To add to another. If you start with 55, 45, 50, or 45, 50, 55, you can change it around to the other races starting attributes in like a few levels. So it's a small cost, but doesn't actually affect your potential. So let me see how this looks underwater now. If I'm going this way and turn, wow. Maybe it can say that you're strafing first too. I wonder what would happen with that. That's pretty good though. I wonder what would happen if I just do that. Let's say that you're strafing. Turning, or say that you're not turning rather. Turning, set strafing. Yeah. Not sure. I should do this custom event for server first. What about the underwater combat? Well, heavy gear and armor make you stick to the bottom until you take the stuff off. I was thinking about doing that, but I don't think it's so easy to program in with the way I have it right now. I don't think so. Underwater combat will be minimal, so no like special 5 skills like or 2, but attacking and moving, etc. It'll be mostly for transportation, battlefield sneakery. Lizardmen and wood sea elves get swimming bonus. Air sky elves and batlings get air movement bonuses and less fall damage. I'll move faster in combat, and minotaurs, satyrs too, and then dwarves / ogres run for longer distances. That's the main racial differences. Whatever. Just need an is locally controlled. This is a cool track. Oh. No to steampunk, though some Renaissance elements, yes. Like hilted swords, weak pistols, etc. I do want to add wings for sky arrows and batlings, but not actual flying. Actual flying from spells, though, yes. Wings from spells? No. Magic flying elf with wings? Yes. I love this quiz, by the way. What happened to the viewers? Everybody's gone. Is it because I'm just answering questions and not working on my game? So I'm thinking maybe this too. Well, no, because then I'm doing turning here. So I might have to say not or you are strafing and turning? I don't... Well, this is the idea, say that I am strafing, but maybe... Because the turning is part of it. But can I be strafing and turning at the same time? I don't think so. So, I guess it's either turning or strafing, or make a new fucking blend state. It's like strafe turning. I'm just curious. Let's see what it looks like, what happens, what it does. What does the game make of this logic? Sometimes it does that. That looked pretty good, actually. I think it worked. Yeah, I was thinking about that. But the thing is, I am testing the whole map every time I do these, because, like, by testing the ocean, I have to make sure the ocean performance is good in line with the trees and everything simultaneously, you know? I was thinking about that, though, because the load times can be pretty intense sometimes, but I think to do that, I might just, like, maybe I could just make the landscapes in the forests not load or something, right? Like, I don't know. Alright, so running on the ground, though, let's see how this looks. Since he's turning left but running right, looks kind of silly. And then he still snaps into that position. What the fuck? Is it turning and strafing at the same time? The moonwalk. Yeah, I know. So obviously this strafing thing is not necessary. This is turning. I actually don't even know how they work, like, basically. What's up with that? Oh, it says there's one viewer here. What ifs? I guess that's you. Name offset. Make me look this shit up. I'm not sure. I guess it is, but I don't really know conceptually. Alright. I might as well know how to do this. Yeah, we might as well learn. Let's learn together. I think I basically will only activate it. So creating. Oh, it takes forever to load this freaking doc website. It's like, oh my god. Oh, they're gonna chop this up into poses. Okay. Remove from frame 1 to frame 87 option. Huh. Okay. So that's how you make a frame from an animation. So now we can duplicate these and change their But then the thing is, if it's turned that way, I don't. No, you know what I think would be better is with a bone offset. Let me look at it again. Let me look at it again and see what I would just like straight up modify. Because I don't think this is really, because the thing is, this will like add the bone offset or whatever. This will add it to it constantly. Oh, I mean, it should be basically the same thing. Just 2D blend space versus 3D blend space. Blend spaces are a little tricky. Did you see me working on the 3D one for strafing earlier? Where I was like fussing around with all the different spots to make sure it works right. What ended up happening was I realized I have to have the right amount of grid lines based on how many assets and stuff I have. See, it's not so bad once you've already loaded the map once. It doesn't really take forever. Okay, so it goes to this turning thing. Maybe I just do a different version of that for when you're. And basically, what I want it to do is maybe I just make it faster. The interp speed faster if you're running, or maybe I can interp the speed. Multiply it by your movement rate. Bam. Multiply it by the movement rate. That's all I gotta do. For this part, set turning axis, set active rotation, F interp to interp speed right there. Get current move speed. No, I'll get the velocity. Can I just and then get length, vector length, and then just multiply. Or let's add 1 first in case it's 0. So we'll add 1, so the lowest it can be is to multiply by 1, and then we'll multiply by 7. Let's see if that does the trick. the other thing I had to do was, and maybe this will hopefully knock that out, but I didn't even notice this. This is more apparent to me now, but there was another one, so I'm working on 2 bugs with 1 stone here, hopefully, where it was this one up here. Right click while in the middle of adjusting rotation from the character movement component, like if you just hit a keyboard button while you're facing the other direction and it automatically interprets around to rotate that way from the character movement component. If I right click while that's happening, it actually gets stuck, which is different than what I'm showing here, which is doing it once that rotation is completed and you're already moving at that direction, and then you right click, which is very similar circumstances. So hopefully we'll see if this knocks out both of them. If I get this, I'm just gonna gloat that I got to avoid using an aim offset for one more thing. But no, now it's just snapping. So multiplying too fast. So it still works well for that. What about walking? Still, so we have to divide that a bit. It's too intense. So maybe 7 is good for the default, but then let's divide before we add 1. Like 100 for now. So we're in the same range of numbers. Medieval fantasy, sort of like folk medieval fantasy. So more grounded and traditional, like going to the sources of the myths, not just Lord of the Rings on crack with spiky shoulders. For example, the names of the dark elves I shall demonstrate for you. Nothing like WoW. Yeah, but there was a lot that WoW did get right in vanilla. You know? Getting at the end for sure. Like, it was, they did have the aesthetic quality more betterer than... Oh, see, that was decent. So just a little bit more, maybe divide by 1,000. I meant to show you the dark elves, the names, but I get the Svartalfar, and the also Svar elves, and the Myr, M-Y-R, Myr elves, Myr elves. I don't even know how to pronounce my own word. Have I made the map? I've basically filled in a good half of them, not filled in, set out the layout of a good half of the world. So that's 2 major continents, and I plan on adding 2 other major continents, which would include the sort of, so these 2 major continents would be like the spawn areas and the home area zones, like your level 1 to 20-ish kind of idea, and then I would have 2 other continents for the higher level content, and it's not really measured by level. I should refrain from doing that, because I have more of a horizontal, really hard to explain, but essentially if you look at this, let me level up a bit. Okay, so if I look at this, level points to spend 45, everything's at 50, so I'm level 10. Okay, spend a level point. Only the down buttons light up first, so let's say subtract 1 from here, and I'll just add to vitality, and I'll just accept. I'll keep going like that, and just, you know, I'm spending 10 levels worth of points, so, you know, this would take forever and a day. I want to implement some way of adding bulk points, but normally you just level up once and do like 5. So for example, now I'm at 44 and 56, so no matter how much you level up, your overall stats equal the same. So it's like min-maxing, and each of these are very literal and direct. Like chance to hit, damage you do, you know, speed to attack. So your DPS could be measured literally by fractions measured against each other. And so that's sort of the horizontal leveling method that I plan on having. So like a high level character is min-maxed. You're not going to pierce him with your dagger if he's put all his stats into avoidance, but he can't hit you or something like that, you know. Player balancing would be protection for weaker planes. Well, that's what I just said. It's going to come down to more to role-playing. This is more like a role-playing game, so the server will have to make its own rules about what custom... I'll put NPC guards in there too, but I mean, that's a complex question. Okay, let's see this. I think we got our thing here. Although it's... Maybe make the... So from here, right-click. It did, and it rotated, but then I need to make the blend into strafing. I think that's the thing. That's a long question. I mean, it's a hard question to talk about, that's all. Like, the balancing is the fact that the stats are balanced to begin with, and it's sort of up to the players what they do. There might be, I mean, like, it's like sort of you can't balance until you see how it works yet. So since I haven't implemented the combat yet, it's kind of like, I don't know yet. So it's a process, you know. But conceptually speaking, what I just explained with the stats balances everybody. So they all have the same total number of stats, but some may have lower and higher numbers than others. But a new player is going to have all equal stats. So kind of ineffective, but not like has stats of 1 compared to the thousands, you know. I'm using one entire level. It's multiple landscapes. I keep forgetting to show you. All these questions and stuff. So this was pretty good. The speed of this. I just want to make it, yeah, the blend of the animation. To strafing from turning. It's 0.2. Oh, let's try 0.3. Looks like it's actually going, yeah, it's going to idle first. The strafing anyway have to be tweaked a bit, I think. Let me mess with that. I've been noticing that for a while. And then head. Clavicle. What if we make these arms instead of shoulders? Upper arm underscore R. I guess that's better. Let's try. Wait, how does it? Spine underscore 0. What do you work as? Are you game dev? I've been like making movies, like trying to have a film career, and I still have one in the works, but this is kind of incorporated with that in terms of maybe I can make movies with Unreal Engine. Hunger and thirst. See, with food, I don't like the idea that it's sort of like goes into the GDC viewings that I've been doing, where it's like a negative thing. You're always trying to refill this hunger meter, and the opposite of that would be like, oh, getting buffs for eating food. But then again, you're waiting for this meter to run out. And personally, as a gamer, I fall into that crowd of storing all the magic potions in your closet to never use them for the bigger battle. And likewise, in like Guild Wars 2, for example, I would never use food buffs unless someone's like offering. I wouldn't keep track of it. Eventually, at some point, I think I tried. I'd have like the specific thing you're supposed to have for the best thing, and then I just forget about it. I don't like keeping track of that shit. I think it's stupid. But I think food is a really, really important thing for immersion. So I do have a bunch of food. Good food. And I think that just having it in there and your character just eats and chills without any in-game effect is way better. You just be like, hey, I got some beers, you want them? And your characters are all like, yeah, cool. And then like your character actually lifts up the beer mug and like drinks it, and you see it maybe, and you see the fluid dissipate. It's like, that's what it's there for. You know, role playing. So this didn't really work out so well. Maybe a lower one. Yikes. I can't do any lower because then he's not going to be strafing. Neck 01. In case you have another one. I don't know what's better. Oh, this one has a wobbly head now. Like, is this better than when I had the clavicles? Oh, the head's still wobbly. Like, maybe I shouldn't even have these at all. Oh no, I did, because otherwise it's the gun animation? No, otherwise it's just like standing there. I could give it another one. Oh, maybe the lower arms. Alright, wait, I think I know what to do. Okay. Take off mesh spatial creation. Oh, okay. I have to do a separate one for the head. But this should be better. For the arms. Okay. You can't change it for each of them, but so I can just take this out. Have this one be just the head, and do I have to? Fuckers. I have to have so many animation samples to blend these together, but it's worth it. There we go. Yay! I have to do it on the female too, which is up here. So just going to copy that and make this one not have the head. Wait, this. Oh, that's something else. That's two-handed. Might as well check. Two-handed. Maybe I have to do it up there too. No, two-handed looks good. Same with the other gender. Yeah. Alright, so here. Down here. I love these little wires. So helpful. Helpful little wires. Shmee. I'll take this one, take head off. Make it a space rotation. Oh, I wonder if it should be clavicle or arms. Clearly it should be arms. Oh wait, you know what? It's probably still copying this. Weird. Why isn't it getting the arms from here? Oh, because I named them wrong. Yeah, it disconnected. Alright. That was pestering me. I still think I need to be doing the blending in here. Maybe the blending into strafing. Let's play again. So I'm gonna just make the accuracy of the comparison so that it snaps into it faster. Because I guess otherwise there is no way to tell that you're going into strafing mode from idle. Here's the new strafe I just made. The arms look like he's kind of milking something. Maybe I can turn that blend rate down. The arms look kind of wonky while strafing. Yeah, maybe it should be clavicle. Let's open that back up. Oh man, where is it? Clavicle underscore. Maybe a little bit better. Can I say how much? Oh, this is for that. There we go. I could just do that. Not sure if it should be clavicle or upper or lower arm. Upper arm, I mean. Clavicle looked better. compare. Yeah, it has a little bit more flow to it. Alright, so the other one just needs that 0.5 here and clavicle. What about dying? Bleeding out system, where you lie there with a countdown that depends on how we're sphere. Basically, I think that's an important missing part. Not just any random stranger, but an empath who normally spends their time in town has to make exploration to drag your corpse back. Or you roll an empath yourself and switch to your alt. Okay, so I think it's on here. Yeah, the speed. Oh, the is equals amount. Maybe like 10 or 5. Let's go with 5 degrees. It's okay if there's like a tiny little snap at the end of the rotation. And maybe it can be a little bit faster. Maybe an 8 instead of a 7. Let's see. I can get stuck doing stupid stuff, though. This is weird. If I turn while strafing? Strafe, but if I... Oh, that's just because that's the... I guess that's just the animation for it. Oh, there we go. That looks weird. I guess it's alright. Now I'm just playing more naturally. If right mouse button is held down, I did this on the horse character. And do it on the player. If right mouse button is held down, you shouldn't be facing the way you're moving in air. I did it on the horse character. Might as well copy that over. Look at me not working on swimming animations. Let me see what I did with that. Okay. So basically just saying if you're in air from right mouse button held down, go back to not right mouse button. Is falling. Oh wait, I already have that on there. What? It's interesting. I don't know why it's not doing the why whoa. This is the knife right here. Hey, what's up, Dwyrod? Pose this question to all of you in chat. Feel free. Because I'm not sure how much I want to work it myself. I have these races that are better swimmers than others, so I can make it. They can breathe underwater forever, or longer. Guild Wars 2 took the approach of all characters can breathe underwater infinitely forever because they all have a water breathing mask that they automatically equip, and it's just kind of like a whole lot of writing off. Actually, that should be the first spell. That makes sense. It's not a flashing visual. But then only... And then anyone can level up that first spell for free, essentially. Some realistic Magic games use light as the first spell, for example, or cantrips, but that's better because it's not flashy, so noobs aren't running all over shit on fire. I should do the landscapes. Let me do the landscapes sounds, since I'm just kind of doing random shit, and that's one of the things I need to do. That'll take me like 2 seconds here. I guess the question is where? It's grass types. Maybe it's continent 2 and fucking around. Maybe those in the landscape layer blends. I can't be choosing it from here. Just as the name. Oh, maybe it's in. God, if it's on the map. And I'm not sure the lungs thing, that's how it really works. I think it's pretty much an instantaneous kind of, it's like, oops, now I'm drowning. It's not like you can like be like, I only have 90% lungs filled with water, I can still breathe a little bit. Pretty sure just like you start filling with water and then you're just done so. Or like, you know, you can be saved, I guess, but you're basically incapacitated. I guess there could be that lingering moment where you can't do anything and can be rescued. Maybe. I don't know. So let's see. Default Physmat new. In the landscape mode. One game has this water weed plant that if you eat it, it gives you extra long. Yeah, like Harry Potter. I was thinking about that. Compiling shaders, manage paint. Browse that asset. Ah, here we go. It's the layer infos have the physmats. Okay. Here we go. So I don't need this stuff open right now. Done with that one. Let's see. I think if I just go through, go from here. Water bed, sand, and I could just save all when I'm done. Cliffs would be what? Rock, stone. Hey Ninix, it's called the Freylands. Oh, I can finally show off. This is one continent. Let's get the whole thing loaded in there. It's probably... Hey, damn it. Let's go to content mode, place. There we go. There we go. This is one continent in the ocean world. And these are freaking huge. Like if we look at this, I'll go down here. And... there's the docks with those giant ships. This is where I've been running around with that character. So, that huge mountain that takes like forever to get, like there's a tree. Right? So, I got another continent over there. Yeah, can't really see it. There we go. And then like, you know, I plan on filling the other quadrants. Basically, you see this green box here is basically my world size. The rest is like kind of just filler space. So these foothills and all that are like, you know, they all have different vegetations and tree types. So kind of like 4 little zones, 4 big zones per island. Maybe like 16 zones total, essentially. And I might be able to fill in more. I'm not sure. The desert. These dunes actually, the normal map's light by directional lights and torch lights and stuff, so it really feels like a 3D sand texture. So I had fun making this world machine. World machine. Alright, let's see. Dirt. That's something else. So what do I have for that? Sand? Gravel? Grass? I have to go to my physmats in general. Materials. Cave, glass, grass, gravel, metal, sand, snow, stone, water, and wood. So yeah, I think gravel for dirt. Flow. I guess sand. Just to give some variety to when you're running along dirt flow and grass. Dirt 2, I guess will also be gravel. Snow, I do have a snow one. I didn't see it there, but I do have it. Like, did I miss it here? Were there others that I missed? There it is, snow, stone, sand, okay. Whatevs. Put on some musics. These aren't bad, to be honest. I should have been using this library for a lot longer. Snow cliffs will also get snow. Where can get, was it, there's no dirt, right? That's there's gravel, grass, and stone, and sand. So let's go with sand. Deposition, same. Well, maybe we can make that stone. Alright, I spoke too soon about how good all the music was here. Dismemberment now. Because then you have to make different skeletal meshes for each arm and everything. Like, it's a whole lot of processing that goes into that that's going to make that not really good for big multiplayer things. Desert grass should also be... Wait. This should be sand then? Yeah, sand. Coastal cliff grass. Each of these needs to be told that they're grass. Even though they're different models, they'll have the same sound. Desert hills will also be sand. This is a nice track. I wish I could like rate them on here. Oh, I can. Let's see if I can remember other ones that I definitely liked. Just real quick. That was good. And I remember... some of these names. I think it was the first one that I saw by Silent Partner. This was early on. Nope. Was this one Ticker? Maybe it was this one. I don't know. Whatever. Sorry. Well, I have to do the other landscape. save the map. I'll be back 1 second. It's just gonna take 1 minute. That's kind of cool. Cardboard thing. Okay, so go to this mode and then select the other landscape. Go in towards it. Let's see these cliffs and stuff. I do owe Nemo thanks for guiding us on the process of making these look correct. Great, I don't know where we were. Where were we? Didn't have a star next to it. I guess it was that one. Maybe. Runtime mesh cutting. It's very limited. They're adding runtime mesh editing tools soon to UE. Excited for that. And no voxels in UE, I think. I think. I might be wrong. So. Tell me I gave them all the same Fizzmats. That would be nice. That's nice. Saved me some work there. Good job, Armando. Good job. No, maybe I just messed this up. Maybe I just didn't do it on the other continents, first few ones. Yep. Here we go. I just wasn't done yet. Or I'd done the first 3 on this one and then did the rest of them on the other one. So I think I can just go to here and then get the flicking around one. Ah, that's what it is. Yeah, so there's a lot of like high-tech stuff that's C++ only still. Yeah, somebody voted in the poll. Go vote in the poll, guys. It's a Pew poll. You like that? That was kind of clever. Gods and stuff, yes. No, I'm gonna make my own, like kind of the same way that all of the D&D games would always make their own pantheon, and it would represent specific things. And I was thinking of letting the server character, like, choose at the beginning of the game, like, you know, or basically like the server at any time can leave their pawn there, and the pawn, their normal character is just a normal character. At any time they can like log out of their normal character and log in as an avatar of one of the gods and be like, you know, on fire or made out of water or something, and like, you know, do cool server stuff, like, you know, delete buildings if they're ugly and nobody likes them there, or like, you know, do servery stuff, ban players in character, you know. So I was thinking about doing stuff like that, and then like, you know, it should definitely influence characters, like, you know, the towns, the culture, the religions and stuff. Maybe I can have the gods appear sometimes, and of course priestly magic is going to depend on that a lot, which schools or things. I'm not sure exactly how yet. I haven't written out the magic because I'm kind of waiting till I really know what you can do with Unreal Engine before I need to be able to say, well, it would be cool if you could just, you know, some interesting Unreal Engine concept, but it doesn't really fit in a medieval world. What if the magicians could do it? Like we were talking about the weather controls and stuff like that. Right on. Just save all again real quickie while I do thisy. So something I can show. Some ideas for my next movie, some ideas for my last movie. Here, the Fey Lands is a folder I made. I just need to rename it the Frayed Lands. It is basically a bunch of sort of visual aesthetic. Here's a goddess. Some of the, like the old school D&D vibes, you know. Like some of these classic pictures. Like how cool is that? Like that's what we need in these games where you're just two characters out in the wilderness. This is your example. This is how dying in RPGs should feel. Someone has to wander out and find you and rescue you. This hiding from this, you know. Some cool religious symbol, some imagery there. Not symbolism, imagery. So now if I'm correct, I've done those three. If I go to this one will be, oh, I did the fourth one, that's right. Flow then, shall be undone. Yes. And this one I was saying would be, maybe I should compare, just get the same one as the other one. Gravel. A little bit of government system. Yes, I do want to actually taxes and stuff. When work in progress, NDDB that's based on AI control government systems. Exactly. So in the real world, guilds were for merchants and people of a trade, and they would say you can only sell the wooden handled mallet for 5 GP. And if you watch some of these extra credits videos about economy balancing, they emphasize the idea that fixed prices help reduce inflation, etc. So all these AAA MMO game devs are missing a huge option that totally sticks to realism by having like programmed governments, guilds, etc., taxes, etc. Maybe not taxes. Let's see how that works. I would like player-run governments that work with the code too. But again, this is all going to be stuff after the, at least after this first release, right? So this one's going to be gravel again as well. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Also, for example, bandits. That's another great example. Like, what if when you die to bandits, they kidnap your character, imprisoned, uncontrollable, rescue quest. Like, that's literally in my design documents, the concept of the bandits. I mean, like, that's just so straightforward. It has to be done. I'll do it in a day, someday. Right. Jungle grass I just done. Caravan raids. Yes, like if there's just like, so I was thinking about having couriers, basically couriers sending messages from one NPC to another, and if you intercept them, you learn about the world, and if maybe one day you know, pilfer an NPC's message cabinet, you can catch up on stuff, you know, and this would all get published to the internet eventually, but it would take a lot of deep exploration to go pickpocket every NPC and find every letter and piece it together. You know? Did I just do this one? No. Archipelago. Dry grass, that's why. Okay. I want to make it so the major evil NPCs have power plays that start from game start. So depending on how you play, you might find out about it for a while, and you catch up late in your plans, but maybe you know about it and charge their castle from the get-go and thwart their plans. Alright, so they might be like sending NPCs out, you know, building an army while you're like leveling up. And maybe you could start the game and be like, I'm going to power level and I'm going to stop them from acquiring the orb of transmutation that enables them to create the zombies in the first place. And you just do. Like, that's the ideal vision. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's tough. That's easy. That's like right there. Have you ever played hex games like Dragon Realms or Gemstone 3 Dragon Realms? I had a great thief guild. I have to play it on stream someday. I showed off their moon mage mechanics a while ago. It was a text-based multiplayer game. Still free to check out. I think I'm done with the landscape sounds. So when I walk around, we should have the footsteps that I set up a while ago. So let me check that off my list. Bing. Should I add rocks? Why don't I just go ahead and add rocks to the world? That's something I've been putting off. Or should I do my complete underwater swimming animation first? The thing is, I would have to add an up and down animation too. Or maybe that would just be idle. You're just swimming up and down. I don't know. I would like to make it orient towards your axis, looking up and looking down. So maybe I'll have to do an aim offset for the actual swimming so that it's like, right? So that it's a, I'll have to look into that. Maybe I can just do, yeah, swimming underwater is its own aim offset thing. So I don't have to blend it with all my other walking stuff. So it can be its isolated own, like, okay, here's my experiment with that mechanic kind of thing. Making an AI simulated world where AI responded to everything realistically. I mean, just it's about anticipating anything that can happen. So out of that into the landscape edit mode, just in case I don't accidentally edit my landscape. Put on a longer song, hopefully. Like a puddle of infinity, this group. And now I'll go on here and see my grass thing here has grass types here. Each of these is here. Let's just find it in the browser. These are located in materials. Ah, okay. So, see, grass only would be here. As you see, only grass. And down here has the bushes and stuff. So should I put the rocks only on the not grass only parts? I think so, right? Rocks would only be around flatter areas. Wait for it. There we go. So for instance, here we should have some grass only. Kingdom names? No, not yet. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. It's not just a race war, exactly. But it... what I have come up with is the idea that the Dark Elves are like the orcs of World of Warcraft, if you will. They're like the central, the opposite of humans. So if you have like the Dark Elves live up in this mountain area here. You've got like cultural similarities, like there's like a Greek thing going on. Like this is sort of like the archipelago Greco-Roman kind of vibe. And then on the other island we have like the mainland style. It'll take forever to get over there. But we have like the mainland Greece kind of style for those races that live there. So that's what the mountains are like over here. And so there's some like, I'm thinking of some disparity between, it is like a factions thing. Like this is one political system of the humans and so the lizard people are on this court side. So this is the humans, and the avians live here in the mountainous area, the avian and elves, the sky elves and stuff. Or the air elves, I should say. The sky elves are from the desert. So you've got these like sub-races and all this stuff. But basically, humans, elves, dwarves, and they've teamed up with the lizard people who are here, and I guess more just sort of like out of necessity or something. And what else? Humans, elves, dwarves, lizard people, and the air elves. So that's four types of elves really. On the other side, you have the dark elves. Kind of a more natural, fey kind of wild side of creatures that are like the wild elves, which are the wood elves and the sea elves. The minotaurs and satyrs were the ones on the... So the air elves on the one side versus the minotaurs and the satyrs makes this kind of Greco-Roman mythological vibe. And then you've got like over here is a sort of like Japanese Eastern thing, which is where the Oni ogres and the batlings, the red and black batlings. Actually, I think the black batlings spawn with the up here. I'm not sure if the red ones spawn down here. And then this sort of like Irish area that's like where the satyrs and wood elves spawn. So it's like this, like, you know, the typical mythical fantasy. So it's not like the evil bad guy side. It's like the mythological versus the like kingdom court side. So there might be some different kingdoms. What I was thinking is if there's 2 other continents, I'm not going to make 10 other races. They're going to be composed of maybe neutral or enemy factions of the same races. So there'll be some of that dynamic. And I was hoping that basically, as the game evolves, you might think that the starting human king is no good and be like anti, you know, you might like get rid of the human empire over here and maybe instead team up with some faction over here and expand their empire and then build in their style over here and then just like customize your server to have like your spawn areas like welcome to the empire of the eastern elves, sun elves, or whatever, like, you know. And basically the idea is that like you evolve the world's political system. But yeah, I think definitely neutral factions that have some political interplay, like other humans. It's not just going to be like the humans, you know, all humans are the same. That you have desert humans and hill humans, first of all, plains humans. So definitely Good question. Got me going for a while there. Let's do some stones. The thing is, I don't know all the different stones. I think I have put them out on display here. They're still here. Here's all my stones. I got some new ones, though. Didn't I get some new ones? Rock box. Some new foliages I can use for the rest of my world. And some trees. I should check these out. Really? These might be like tiny little rocks. High texture, small rocks. I'm not sure, it was like $1. So I was like, more rocks. Otherwise, I've laid out all the rock things out here that I have so far and can decide which. Sorry about all that. I had to go take care of some house stuff. Research new inventions and stuff. Yeah, I was actually thinking instead of player progression with crafting skills, it would be server progression, and it's not going to be like automatic. It'll be like propagated. Like you can share recipes, you can sell recipes, you can copy recipes, so that you can have a vendor that sells them, or you can just give them out for free, or maybe you can establish an NPC that'll teach you for free. You know, so the players will propagate the knowledge as the server wants. Maybe you run a server where you kill every NPC that has the copy and you burn every copy, and then guns can never be invented in your world because the recipe doesn't exist. And then just from that point, you know, I think that would be a really fun dynamic. It's a pretty big freaking rock. It's pretty cool. Right, so or plate armor or halberds, any late medieval technology could be maybe on your server. You prevent it from being propagated by just, you know, getting rid of the NPC that teaches it, or just buying it, the only copy from them, and destroying it. You know, have that option is in the player's hands. These are really nice freaking rocks. It looks kind of like a small rock made to look bigger. Like, looks kind of like that size of rock, but it could be like that size of rock. Kind of looks like that too. That's the way rocks are. They're fractal. It wouldn't look like that kind of a rock. It wouldn't look like a arm-sized rock. That doesn't make sense, right? But it makes sense as like, oh yeah, like a rock like that. Yeah, it looks like, or like big ass rock, like even like huge mountain rock. It even makes sense actually at that size. If you look at it like that, see how close you can get. It actually looks ridiculously good. Pretty good up close, although I don't think you'd want to get it any bigger than, yeah. You can start to see that breaking up here. It's probably a rock like this big, because that's the way mountains are and stuff. It's called fractals, where they're made up of the same shape as their smaller parts. So it's like, that's why it looks like equally realistic, like a plateau or boulder, or like a small handheld kind of rock, or like pebble even. It feels like a transformer. It's like a weird shape to it. The problem is if I use these everywhere, I could give them random rotation, like completely random, and then it'll just give a lot of character, because like when you rotate these things, they become unrecognizable. That's how people build. That's how I built the cave, with like 2 or 3 rocks, just changing the shape a bit. You don't really notice when they're big and like blending in with each other. Yeah, these are really good. Even just for like a medium-sized rock or something. Like if it was just like a plains boulder or something. I mean, like the meshes, you see the same bush everywhere. I wonder how it'll look if if I have enough variety to them. I have to color match them so they all go to the right, like, you know, zones. I have 8 zones to fit with rocks, so I'll have to make a chart like I've done for others. No, see, that's the thing. I don't like it when you can harvest the foliage directly, because then what ends up happening is you're just eliminating the character and the appearance of the level. You're just erasing it, which on one hand, maybe, yeah, you want to erase everything there and plant a different vegetation. So I'm a little torn on that. So I want to make it for the trees at least. You can chop the trees down. You can already have that in the game, and then maybe plant different trees in the area. So I might make it with the foliage too, that you can harvest them and then plant them. But the planted ones are going to be I don't know, like one bush at a time. So if you're harvesting all over the place, I don't know. I feel like there should be an option to remove foliage on purpose, but not just because you're harvesting it. I feel like you should be able to harvest forever. Like you just hit a mountain forever. You're not going to run out of rock in the mountain, you know? Yeah, but that's dumb. No, just kidding. It's I like Ultima Online. You would go up to the mountain and you just start hitting it, and you just get rocks from it. I feel like that makes sense. That's how you develop like a culture around an area where you're just like, well, this area has a lot of rocks. I can just sit there and farm rocks. So you have this like notion of that always having a rock there that you can go hit. So that has character. Whereas if it's just like this region has a lot of rocks in general, you're just running around, you know, looking for rocks. I don't know. I think that's, as far as rocks and like, for example, with the foliage too, I want to be able to just like at any time, any place type forage for, you know, healing herb and just like rummage around. Reconnected. Like, you can see the choppiness. I can feel it in the mouse now. Yeah, texture streaming pool, 20 frames per second. If I close all these, it's back at 15, 80. All these rocks doing that. I gotta make sure the rocks get culled. Well, I already have some rocks. Maybe I don't want to use those super HD rocks for now. Some screes from the kite demo, I think. Yeah, kite demo. The docks, medieval docks gave me a rock. Yeah, the rocks did that. So those are kind of not really worth it. Maybe I can adjust them. There's another docks one. Docks C. These look cool for, this is another docks one, large. The docks one gave me so far like some of the best stuff in general for the game. Got a whole bunch of small boulders from kite demo. Just chilling out here. Large volcano rock. Kite demo, ground reveal. Ground reveal, kite demo. More volcanic rocks. Mountain rocks. Volcanic rock, volcanic rock. Then I remember there was some giant mega rock pieces, but they were more like for designing mountains, so I got rid of them. I don't know about these screes. That's like weird. Don't compute. So I kind of have. These are huge. So I just have a bunch of boulders that kind of look the same. Maybe I could just put the same boulders everywhere. I feel like they should have some more character or something to them. Maybe I can dye them different colors. Make some variations off of them. Like, there's just not really a lot to decide about the rocks in terms of which landscapes get which ones. Like I could do a little bit of like the lighter ones on one island and the darker ones on the other, but they're all kind of the same color except for these guys. But these are two, like, let's see, vertices 1000, 1500, 1500, 800, 800, 1300, 600, 2000, 1600. Does it say the material size? Maybe the material size is the problem. Oh yeah, these are 4K textures. That's why. So I could just go through all of them. Rock. I can change the lichen color. Wait, these aren't all using the same material. No way. Oh, but they're using different. What? I guess it just swap out some of the textures. So but then does that mean I still think I need to go through each of them, all of their, like, say I'm a diffuse texture. I have to go through all these and change the compression, and that's just a lot of labor for those rocks. Might be worth it. Maybe why don't we try with one of them? I don't think we're gonna be able to tell though. Whatever. I gotta do some stuff anyway, so I think I'm gonna I don't really have to do anything right now. I just need to like reset my modem for some update. But yeah, why don't we just put rocks in all of them? So we'll get like materials, was it? Yeah. So it's a grass type. I can just put one grass type that has all of them. Let me just duplicate one of these because I don't even remember. Let's just make it rocks. I have rocks 1, rocks 2. Just rocks. Rock medium verse. Well, let's see. Where's rock medium var A? There is no medium var A. Medium. Alright, so let's see. I guess free might skew them out a bit, but it gives some nice weird shapes to them. Random rotation. Okay, tilted to the normal, I guess. That should be good enough. And now do I have to set all that again? Can I just copy? Paste, there we go. Rock medium variation C. Should I add the volcano ones, or maybe I'll just do these medium boulders and put boulders on all of the landscapes except for the desert, probably. And maybe save Maybe I could do the volcanic ones more in the dark elf area, and the roundish ones more in the court area. So a little nicer rocks, a little angrier rocks. I can maybe make these a little bit smaller. That makes sense. Let's do medium boulder. So add one, paste. So this is medium boulder 001. Are these the same thing? No. They look totally different. Add. Paste. Yeah, obsidian would be nice. I mean, that's a lot of stuff that I'll get into eventually. I figure just make do with what I've got for the most part, you know, put in the basics, and then, you know, once it gets time to, like, fancifying things, I can, like, make some variation materials easy enough. Like, there's a polished marble texture that I could easily just apply, or not texture, it's like a material I could apply to anything, and then just modify it so it's black, and I can make my own obsidian that way. So when it comes time to, like, really fluffing things out, yeah. Just put it in the chat so that it's there. Matte. Okay, so now if I go to the materials folder and the landscape, right now this is where, so I add, can I add not, oh, landscape grass type, shit. Oh no, I can plug in multiple. Right, okay, so I can just add one more here. That's right. So I add one, call it rocks. Get rocks. And now I can take this here, not desert, take coastal cliffs, swamp grass. I'll make snow-covered rocks at some point. Types of items yet? Mostly medieval stuff. Nothing crazy. Oh wait. What? So I can get 2 from here, but only 1 to each of these? Really? I think there's a limit to how many grass types it can have or something. Can't I just freaking... One, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7. All right. Try that. It'll be a bit while that compiles. Alright, I'll be back. Just leave this on for a bit. Okay, I'm back. No classes. Yeah, you can like control AI characters. Like, I've tested that. Like, while controlling a regular character, you can like give directions to an AI character through the player. Like, no problemo. Okay, I could open that up, or I could check this out. Where are my rocks? I actually don't see the rocks. Oh, was it the other island? Probably. In which case, it should have been desert. Maybe that doesn't make sense why it would be named desert and coastal cliffs and all that jazz. Let's see, rocks here. Nope. Did build the meshes. These all have rocks. Rocks has all these. Grass density of 500. Jesus Christ, that's probably a problem. I think I want like 1. Maybe it's not rendering them because of that. Maybe there is a limit to how many. Yeah, I think there is a limit to how many, because I remember thinking about this a while ago. But then I can't have, I have to add the rocks to each of these to each of the other grass types. Let me just go ahead and do that. All right. Basically, I want to copy this one. Really. Paste here. I want to hold medium, low poly, and now we do want free. Floating islands, maybe. It's a little bit too high fantasy. If they are there, they should like float when you trigger a massive epic spell. Not like already be floating. Or just be very rare. Like some really random little, very far away in the ocean kind of thing. Oh, that was desert. Oops. I can remove that. Well, maybe the desert should have rocks. No, the desert does not have rocks. Okay. Maybe, yeah, maybe something that floats around in the ocean. You have to find it. It's maybe following some ancient math left in a tome somewhere. That would be cool. So I like that. Snow, we'll leave it off for now. This is foothills grass only. Don't want that. Are these grass onlys? Yeah, I don't want those. Okay, cool. I think maybe I should put them in the snow. No, I should put snowy things in the snow. Now, does it have rocks? Rocks! Too many of one type, so I'll lower that a bit. Wait, not control Q. I don't know what that does in this mode. If anything. But I have to go to each of these and lower. Freaking hell. So let's make it 0.01. I can just copy that. Just those. Swamp, coastal cliffs, and foothills. Okay. So let's add the other one. The other ones. Paste. But this one would be. Now I copy that. Paste. Paste. And let's see, do another one. This one would be medium rock B. Copy that. Get some musics on here. One more. Try this. Yeah. I'm just gonna go over to one of these other biomes. I was pressing spacebar to lift. It's E to lift. Necromancy and undead. Yes, definitely. I think it'll play more into the idea of raising the dead as, like... I don't like where you're just trailed by, like, a dozen skeletons, but nothing wrong with summoning a skeleton. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the Guild Wars 1 Necromancer, you know? Why am I not seeing the rocks here on the swamp area? There was one. There's one. Looks like they fit in everywhere. They really blend in very well here, actually. It's hard to find them. Like, here's one. So let's make the other one have... the volcanic ones. No, I don't have... the only enemies I have so far are really skeletons of any monster type, and like kobolds, orcs, hop, stuff like that I can make and make human. And then a bunch of animals. I have all the animals. So I can make a giant spider, a giant ant, if I need to. Nordic mountains. Hi ho, Silva, away. The snow line is like too obvious on here, but it's like better here. It's kind of weird. Really weird. Like 0.1 to 0.2 might be too small. Like I'm not seeing it. It's so hard to tell here. This musician sounds like very bored. Where's the volcanic rock? It's supposed to be up here in the Nordic mountains. It's trees. I don't see the rocks anywhere. Oh, I made it. Yeah. I'm doing it procedurally, placing them. Like I'm trying to do with these rocks right now, but they're not showing up like anywhere. Like what gives? I'm just doing something wrong. Or I'm in the wrong area. You get the idea. It's exactly. That's what I spend my free time thinking about. I'm so confused. Could it just be too detailed for? What? I don't see this rock over here either. What did I do wrong? I must be in the wrong area. Oh, wait. This would have those red and... yeah, it has the red flowers and all that stuff. The wheat grass. Wait, wheat grass? Yeah, that's the wheat grass. I can see all the other bush types and stuff. Hmm. Okay. So I must have had the wrong layer. Or maybe it was getting overridden or something. Well, they're obviously working. Let's try the volcanic. There it is. There they are. Maybe you just can't see him through all this wheat. No, but I made it 10 and they weren't showing up. But all the others are here. I can see him on this one. It must be on snow. It must be snow. Yeah. For this one. Yep, that's what it was. Alright. Because that's overriding that one. Alright. I'll close that, and I probably don't need to add them to this one either. I should anyway, so. Ireland grass. Jungle grass. That would be the last one. Alright, now I'll add the other